And so you just feel good. And then they are up. They are now up in the 9th inning.
Yep.
They're up in the 9th inning of Game 6.
Yep.
They're Whitey and I just said his name, but the manager of the Royals,
Hauser.
Dick Hauser. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're playing a little cat and mouse, right? Yeah. Where Worrell wasn't on the mound, and then Hauser pulled the guy out, and then put George Orta in, and then here comes Worrell in.
George
All right,
Orta.
Let's just go with this, right? And there were no outs at the time, right? There's no outs, and George Orta hits this little slow roller, right? And you almost hear Bob Uecker from originally saying, "Oh, I got all of that one," right? It's just rolling to first base, as George Orta was wont to do. Jack Clark feels it. Worrell covers, flips it, got it. It's there in time. First base umpire Don Denkinger, safe. Calls him safe. There are 3 outs right now from winning the World Series. Calls him safe. And to say that the Cardinals unravel is to put it mildly.
That's exactly right.
One could argue that they are supposed to be professionals, and they are. They didn't need to unravel the way that they did, but they lost it. They're arguing like crazy. Whitey's arguing. The next batter, Steve Boboni, pops one up in foul territory. Easy second. That should have been the second out.
Yeah.
Orta and Jack Clark miscommunicate, the catcher and the first baseman, and the ball just drops.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Clark took responsibility for it later, right? So he wasn't saying it was Daryl's fault. He took responsibility.
No, but they were gooched at that moment.
They were right.
Yeah.
They're going nuts. Worrell's lost it. He's a rookie. He's unraveled. He's screaming at Denkinger. He's screaming at Don Denkinger.
Yeah.
And Dane, Lonnie Smith plays a role there eventually.
Yeah.
Dane Orge, who helped them win the 82 World Series. Orge spelled IORG.
Dane and Garth
Orge. Royals and the Blue Jays, right? He eventually drives home what becomes the winning run.
Yeah.
Right. So now it's 3-3.
Yeah.
Going to Game 7.
It's over, buddy.
They're going for John Tudor, but John Tudor, his arm is held together by duct tape at this part.
Yeah.
Well, Joaquin Andujar has something to say about the Game 7 start, right? He he throws a fit before the game.
Yeah, that's right.
This Joaquin's diamond cutting there. This is
I got a thing. I have a little Joaquin. I look for the Joaquin Andujar cards where he has the biggest gold medallions. So I got an 85 Fleer. I also love that blue jersey that they wear.
Oh, I love the baby blue.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So good. It's Game 7.
It's Game 7. Somebody, my favorite story about Joaquin Andujar. Somebody once said that the cocaine era of baseball didn't end because it got cleaned up. It ended because Joaquin did all the coke. And it was gone. That was it. There was no more coke.
That's so funny.
Right. Anyway, so it comes to Game 7. Tudor gets the call. It's clear right away that he does not have it. He's done. Right. He's done. He doesn't last very long.
No.
Pitcher after pitcher, 11-0, I think, is the final score at that point.
That's right.
Andujar actually gets into the game at one point. He doesn't have it.
No, in fact, he argues a ball strike call at Denkinger's behind the plate because he's the crew chief in the Game 7. And he argues, and it gets really ugly. If it's just like one of those, they fall apart, a bad call, and it just unraveled.
Yeah, and when I try to defend them, I try to say, like, imagine like your entire goal in your professional life is to win the World Series.
Yeah,
Jack Clark didn't have one. Most did. Whoever was left over from the '82 team, they had one, right? So Willie and Ozzie had one. Tommy Herr had one. Most didn't.
No.
Landrum had one somehow and made it back. But it was in a way taken from them, but in a way it was on them as well. They didn't have to unravel like that, certainly. But but that call by Denkinger started it rolling. And one thing that makes me really mad about it is, to this day, I'm furious that Don Denkinger accepted responsibility like a total pro. I wanted him to go full heel and full villain so that I could be angry with him. But if you watch him talk about it, he goes, "I just missed it." Yeah, he was just a complete human being about it. About it.
Oh, well. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. No, I'm like, that's what it's Grace Under Fire.
Yeah.
And you own it. Like, you make a mistake, you're a human being. You own it. Did you know that he passed not long ago?
I know.
Number one, he passed not long ago, but he had a painting, the painting of the missed call. The call. He had the painting.
Oh, did he?
So yeah. So I want to go there in just a second. But before we move on, I'm sitting on this one card, just really quick. 86 Fleer George Orta. Unforgettable player. You will always remember his name. Rough. Listen,
Yeah.
I had 2002 against the Angels when Dusty gave the ball to Russ Ortiz, a game ball while the game was still going. Scott Spezio, Troy Glaus, all those who just unloaded. Like, that was such a Goocher game 6. I'm like, what are you doing? That's Scooter baseball gods. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
And then game 7, I knew they were done. So,
by the way, quick little segue.
Yeah.
How has Topps not yet had now that Darren Baker is in the minor leagues and doing really well for the Nationals? How have they not had a Darren Baker JT Snow dual auto?
How
have they not had?
Are you listening, fanatics?
Do that.
That's a great idea.
Saving his life. His tears. It was a sweet moment.
You could do it 25 years, 2027.
Yeah, they should. I have one more card as well.
Please.
By the way.
Yeah.
It's the 2012 Allen Aginter, Don Denkinger.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
No way. That's so good.
Good. And so, I'm from St. Louis, but I went to college at the University of Iowa, which is 75 minutes away from Waterloo, Iowa, which is where Don Denkinger is from. Lived in his life. And he had a bar. He had a bar up there.
Yeah.
That when I was in college, whenever I had a couple beers, I'd say, we're going up there. I would never drink and drive, right? But we didn't do it. I'm glad I didn't, because he was total pro, a gentleman about it.
He said so. He had a painting of the call. So I want to transition into that piece of artwork. Now, I can't say with absolute 100% certainty that the poster, the image I'm about to show, is exactly the same painting that he had of the call in his home. I couldn't put those two together, but I think there's a reasonable expectation that it was the same painting. And what I'm going to show is your version of the same image, a painting called The Call. Tell us about this.
Okay, the painting, it depicts the call. It's inaccurate. He did not have his arms out safe before Orta touched the base. So it was bang, bang play. The ball he was clearly out, right? But he was not like this with his arms out making the safe call. So in fairness to Denkinger, the painting is slightly inaccurate.
Okay.
But what it does is it captures that play. There's Worrell, catching the flip from Jack Clark. There's George Orta reaching for first. There's Denkinger blowing it. This painting was what we had in lieu of a guest book by Bar Mitzvah on April 30th, 1988. It was this day I don't know who picked it out. I think it was my cousin Mark, the Mets fan, who I would go out and visit Mark every summer. He's a Mets fan. He lived in Jersey in Bloomfield, just over the border, right, in New York City. So he's the one that writes, he was safe on there, right? That was my cousin Mark. And just to torture me, the day the boy becomes a man, you want to remember this forever. Here, let's pick this painful scab right off and have this up here.
It's really funny.
This is it. This is still in my dad's place down in St. Louis. And
really funny.
He snapped the picture for me when I wanted to get a copy of it and send it to you.
Funny.
So you can see my friends and my relatives. If you were somewhat, you don't have to zoom in, but you'd see congratulations and this and that and a few digs at the Cardinals, of course.
Oh yeah, a lot of them, and they're signed in prominent places. So a couple things. Number one, this is April 30th, 1988, October 85. We're talking how many months later? It's 2+ years.
30 months.
30 months. 2.5 years later, this is what they signed. So amazing.
And you can find these paintings. These paintings were at mall kiosks. You go to West County Plaza or Northwest Plaza, and you would find this. This was a common painting that you would find. And because it would make us feel better, because Denkinger's arms were at this the painting, the depiction makes it look so much worse than it is that it erases any doubt, right? If there was YouTube back then, there would be no doubt anyway, right?
Yeah.
But to really run it back, you'd either have to watch it on a VCR, somebody happened to record it, or you'd have to happen to catch a replay on something like This Week in Baseball, which who knows whether, or the,
bum, bum, bum. I love that music. Okay,
those closing credits were so good.
Oh, that music.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did some research into this poster.
Okay.
On February 6th, 1986, the Cardinals sent a cease and desist letter to Bad Call Poster Company, the manufacturer. If you see the bottom left, this is the poster in question. They sent a cease and desist to Bad Call Poster Company, telling the company that was founded by 2 Cards fans from Nebraska, speaking of reach, to stop selling a poster depicting a painting of the play. Bale Van Segren, a lawyer in Grand Island, Nebraska, felt that way and commissioned local artist Bob Kirby to do the painting, right? So they commissioned this local artist to do the painting, this guy Kirby. After Kirby captured the awful moment on canvas, Von Segren founded Bad Call Poster Company and began selling copies of the work for $15 each. But the Cards, saying they wanted to put the call behind them and also claiming trademark infringement, demanded that Van Segren stop selling the posters. Last line. Van Segren, who has sold more than 500 of them, says he won't close up shop. I found some info. I will tell you though, I only found one available online, and it was an old Facebook posting. Who knows whatever happened to it? So it might be a rarity. And
this would have been 88, so I guess Uberoth would have been commissioned.
Yep.
I'm surprised I'm surprised MLB didn't sue for copyright with the Royals. That is fantastic. I have never heard the backstory of that painting before. Thank you for sharing that.
You're so welcome. This is right up my alley, man. Obscura and marginalia, sweet spot.
As if I couldn't love that poster anymore.
It's got story.
Yeah.
There is so much more to talk about. But I want to move forward into another slightly different subject. We've been on for a while. I want to talk a little bit about the theme song, as you said, Heat is On, Glenn Frey, is released December of 1984, but really it is a blockbuster 1985 film, Beverly Hills Cop. Heat is On is Beverly Hills Cop. And I just want to plant my flag in saying that the 1985 year in movies might just be the best year of the decade. I'm going to run down some films for you. All right. This is kind of be in order of box office take. I'm going to leave number 1 out for now. Number 2, though, is, of course, Beverly Hills Cop. Moving on, we have First Blood, Rambo, Part 2. First Blood, Part 2. Huge, right? He goes to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Rocky 4. Oh. I have a great, this is a vending machine sticker I got last year at National. It's one of those Prism Jewels from the vending machines in the mid 80s, a Rocky 4.
That looks terrific.
It's just something you don't see, right? Such a cool thing.
How on fire was Stallone with Rocky 4 and Rambo 2?
They were like 3 and 4 in gross. Huge.
Did you see Rocky 4 in the theater by chance?
Of course.
You remember the crowd? Was your audience going
nuts? We're all cheering, of course.
During the Drago fight? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can do quotes from that all day. If he dies, he dies.
The Lakers beat the Nuggets last night. I thought, he's cut. He's cut. The Nuggets are cut.
Right. Keep going. Goonies. Right?
Great movie.
Fletch. Got the whole fist up there, Doc.
You gotta go back there and pump.
Oh my God! I'm gonna keep going. Mask, not Jim Carrey, but Eric Stoltz,
and Cher,
right? And Cher and Rocky Dennis. He's collecting the Brooklyn Dodgers motorcycle gang. Very good movie.
Elephant Man disease.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great movie. So Mask, Breakfast Club.
Enough said.
It's nuts. A few more. Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
R.I.P. Paul Rubens last year.
Exactly. Commando, Little Arnold. Weird Science, Chips, Dips, Chains, and Whips. There are many more, but I'm going to actually turn it to you for 2 more. What is the number 1 film in 1985?
It's Back to the Future.
Oh, yes.
Back to the Future. And if you weren't aware back then, it's impossible to describe how big that movie was, how long it was in the theater. It comes out mid-late summer of 1985. By the time the Cardinals are in the World Series in October, it is still top 5 in weekly box office.
It's crazy.
Right. So it's, Michael J. Fox, who is scorching hot as Family Ties is one of those Thursday night shows with Cosby Show.
Yep.
Cheers. Right. And then Different World. And so he's scorching hot.
Yep.
The movie is incredible. Right. You got Zemeckis and you've got Crispin Glover and Leah Thompson. And the flying DeLorean at the end, which says to be continued, and everyone's, is it going to be to continue? And of course it was, years later. What a movie. What a movie that was. And so Michael J. Fox was, after Eddie Murphy, the hottest screen star of 1985 at that point.
And like a one of one.
He was, right? Yeah. He was. And if you ever watched Battle of the Network Stars, that old show, he was an incredible athlete. And he was only 5'4", 5'5". He was pretty small, but he was fast, right? And he was really agile. And obviously this was before Parkinson's. And, he would dominate on that show.
Very funny.
Because people now know now he is.
Yeah.
Right. He's this incredible athlete. He's Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties. He's Marty McFly. On that show, on that movie, and that movie just dominates the summer into the fall. I can remember seeing, again, the Post-Dispatch back when they had the movie ads in the back of the entertainment section, and it would say like now in its 25th week, now in its 28th week, and I remember that first happening with Romancing the Stone, I think in '84, and then Beverly Hills Cop, and then the next one,
the blockbusters, was
Back to the Future, and then it goes away and they re-release it in the theater and it comes back. And so Michael J. Fox owned the summer of '85.
Owned it. There's another film though that you talk about, it's also on the list.
Teen Wolf, right?
Teen Wolf. Bring Teen Wolf, baby. I'm with you.
6 weeks or so, Michael J. Fox, just when you think he can't get any bigger, 6 weeks after or so Back to the Future comes out, Teen Wolf comes out. So now he's got the number 1 and 2 movies in the country. Teen Wolf does not have the staying power. Does not quite as sticky, right? As it is. But Teen Wolf is much more relatable, right? At this point, he is just a high school teen who's kind of a dork.
Yep.
Not much of an athlete. His best friend is like the chubby guy, right? His other best friend is the cute girl next door who she likes him, but of course it's the '80s and he doesn't like her back. That's kind of how it works. And it turns out that his dad and his whole family comes from a line of werewolves.
Naturally,
right?
Of course.
Naturally. And he, I guess, as he's going through puberty or whatever happens, he turns into one because he's getting jumped on like in a basketball court or something like that.
Exactly.
He's playing basketball. And he's a pretty good player. If you see him play in the movie, he's not like Wesley Snipes in White Man Can't Jump, or Wesley Snipes dribbling like that because he's not really an athlete, right? He's a good athlete. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
He's playing pretty well, and now he can dunk.
He plays as a wolf. He's dunking. Remember he's surfing on top of the van in that one scene?
First, it was his friend Styles who was
right. Styles.
Right? And Styles is about to hop on the next time, and he turns into the wolf and goes, "It's my turn." Right. So he jumps up there. He's surfing on top of the van. Right. He's wearing black Ray-Bans.
Yeah. That's so good.
Right. And
my God.
That was the relatable character, right? The dork who becomes the popular kid.
Oh yeah.
Suddenly the prettiest girl in school wants him, like the head cheerleader, right? But as he realizes that there is a dark side to becoming a werewolf,
sure,
because like the bully who he can finally fight back against, he like shreds his shirt at prom, right?
Yeah.
He misuses his werewolf powers. This is right after dancing. Right? He realizes everyone thinks he's a monster, right? So, and he also realizes that his friend, I'm not making up the name, his friend Boof.
I remember Boof, of course.
He realizes, Boof is the girl that I love, right? And so he goes back and he plays the last basketball game, but as himself.
Yes.
And his friend, chubby friend, makes a free throw. I think underhanded. I think he does it, Barry style, and happy ending. He gets the right girl. He succeeds on his own.
Yep.
And,
there it is.
What a movie. And then like a couple months after that, the next season of Family Ties comes on. And so Michael J. Fox is scorching.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boy, just when you think the Rated Rabbi Sports Card podcast can't get more nichey, we find the tiniest itty bitty crevice. There's only room for like 2 people to go through it. It's just the 2 of us, but we're going to squeeze through it. And it just opens up into a beautiful cave, stalactites, stalagmites, all of it. That was awesome. There's a lot of Teen Wolf. So I remember him. He was what a great premise Family Ties was. The 60s hippie parents with the young Republican Reagan oldest son.
Yes.
Right.
I always wore even to high school, he wore the necktie.
Yeah.
And then to college.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Such a good character. Actually, is Mallory older?
No, he's the oldest.
He's the oldest. Okay.
Mallory, Jennifer, and then the cousin Oliver kid they added on later.
Yeah, because everyone got old and teeny others got weird looking.
Andrew. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when like the youngest doesn't get cute. It happened the same thing on Growing Pains when they brought on Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah. So
and Sam and redheaded Sam on Different Strokes.
All of it. Oh, absolutely.
Scrappy Doo even came along later. Huh?
Kind of a whole cliche thing. Mm-hmm. So I remember an episode of Family Ties, season 2. I actually did a little homework because I remember there is one episode where Alex is under a lot of pressure in school, and he takes Mallory's best friend. So I remember it's like Effie. I can't remember the girl's name. That he takes her diet pills, and he gets all strung out on amphetamines. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. He's in his office chair, and he's wheeling all over the room in it.
Yeah, look, I have a picture for you, Iowa Dave. I come ready, baby.
Oh, he's losing it. Look at him. He's not even wearing a tie anymore. He is unhinged.
No, he's unhinged. He gets strung out on amphetamines. And I remember there's a scene also where like the father says, "Yeah, I did it once in college myself." It was just like actually very progressive. It was 1983. Yeah.
Do you remember who played his alcoholic uncle in season 1?
Tom Hanks, bro.
Tom Hanks.
He's on 2 episodes. He appears twice. Yeah, I was buying stock and going long on Tom Hanks from the beginning. I used to watch Bosom Buddies. Are you kidding me? Every episode, Peter Scolari. How could they think there were women? Who would believe that?
It was the 80s. They're all cooked up.
It's a bad idea. And we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
All right. So I had the best time last year at National when you and I got to meet in person. That was really, really cool. We had corresponded. You were very generous and invited me to some really thoughtful questions. And you'd started your Had you started your podcast? Not
just, but yeah, I started it.
Just started
May, I think late May of 23.
But we'd messaged and we talked a little bit and we connected.
Right before that, I was doing Q&As on my website. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. And which were really good questions. I really remember enjoying answering them. We connected at National. It was my second and your first, I believe, right? Yes. Now the next National in Cleveland is just, we're under 90 days. It's on the horizon. First, are you going?
Yes.
You are going.
I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I've got my hotel reserved.
Okay.
So I'm going.
Okay, so you're going. Have you started thinking about, so 2 questions here. First, what are you thinking about your approach for the next 3 months? How will you be collecting? And then have you started thinking about what you'll be looking for and how you'll approach the National?
Yeah, I have both. So how I'm collecting is I've been sort of saving and selling, and I'm working up toward a pretty good car that I've been wanted for a while and wanted to come across at a decent price. And so actually in the next few days, I don't want to jinx it, but in the next few days, I'm going to take care of that.
Okay.
Once I do, I'm basically shutting it down until National, except for like if a good Brian Jordan card were to pop up, right?
Sure.
Or if something that's been on my watch list for 2 years pops up. But otherwise, because I can get Brian Jordan cards are $5 to $10. That will scratch the itch if I need.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I'm shutting it down just to save up some funds for it. And then my plan for this year. So last year I was very specific, almost too specific with what I was looking for.
Yeah.
This year, I have a couple cards in mind that I want, and they're both really common.
Okay.
And I'll definitely say what they are, and they're so
Yeah.
common. But the reason I haven't bought them here on eBay is because I can get them anytime I want.
Right.
And if I go there looking for them, I'll have so many tables to look at to be able to browse and something. They're really common cards that I just want to add to my to the PC. Right.
What are they? What are they?
It's a 69 Topps Reggie.
Oh, nice.
Right. But with all the vintage, there'll be tons there.
There'll be tons.
Yeah. And then the other one is the 89 Upper Deck Griffey. I just want one. Right?
Sure.
And, so when I went back to my dad's house and got the collection years ago, that's one of the ones I sold off, was my old Griffey, because I didn't think I was going to be collecting again.
Right.
And now I kind of wish I hadn't, because it was pack pulled. I pulled it back in '89.
It was your Griffey card. Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah. It's gone. Yeah.
Right? But I kind of want a low stress national.
Yeah.
And if the main two cards that I'm looking for are the Reggie and the Griffey, there'll be a lot to look at. I can hit every table.
Yep.
And if I don't find the right one, then I'll come back and find one on eBay at some point.
Totally. And there's so many of them that you can pay the price you want to pay.
Yeah. And of course I'll be looking for the obscure ones too. Like if I happen to come across like that 2011 red Ichiro or something, that'd be amazing, but I'm not counting on it.
It's so big that trying to find the needles and the haystacks there I find really hard. Mm-hmm. So a big card, don't want to jinx it. And then saving up with then 2 cards and then just fun cards. I like the idea of a low stress national.
Yeah. I'm getting in Wednesday. I'm driving. Yeah. I'm leaving town. I'm driving Wednesday.
Okay.
Thinking about, depending what time I leave, taking in the Guardians game that night. They're playing Wednesday.
Nice.
But then they're leaving town for the rest of the weekend.
Okay.
So maybe do that if I'm back if I'm there in time, doing that, enjoying the trade night Thursday night, just meeting up with friends, saying, hey, getting some good meals, and that's it. Yeah. Nice. And then drive back Saturday morning. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Beautiful. I think I'm going to drive as well. It's a little bit.
You're going.
Yeah. I'm going to go. My buddy Adam K is going, and I'm low key. Like, I see what I see and I go where I go, and definitely want to connect when we're there. I have very similar in thinking ahead. There's a big card. Actually, I've been sitting here not knowing whether or not I won a significant auction for a very significant card that ended during this recording.
Is it the card?
It is the card.
Okay.
Want me to look? My phone's right here.
I do.
I mean, let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Dave. I got it. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Holy cow.
I got it. Thank you. And I got it for significantly less than my highest bid. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh man. Just pay it. Pay it before they before they cancel it.
It's Greg Morris, but I am going to pay it right now.
Greg Morris? Okay, you're safe. I'm
cool.
Yeah. That is incredible. Congrats.
Do not send it to the vault. The hell with the vault. I want it in my hands, baby. Oh.
I'm so happy for you.
Wow. That's so nice to share that with you, Dave. What a great moment. Oh my gosh.
You did it.
For those listening, you know what card it is. It's the 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth card 149, the red one, happening right now live on the Rated Rabbi Sports Card Podcast with my buddy Iowa Dave Schwartz. How so cool.
Man.
Wow.
Holy
shit. I just spent a lot of money on a piece of cardboard.
A piece of history.
And I just swore. I don't swear on this show. I don't work blue.
That is incredible. You did it.
Wow. Oh my God. That's so cool.
And think about all the things that you passed up.
Yeah.
The moment now. I mean.
Oh, that was so neat. I'm so glad I get to share that with you. Excellent. So I'm actually now in a very similar situation as you. I will be buying my little $12 100 pence. I can do that.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to have fewer and fewer. I've actually been toying around with, I don't want a ton of volume, right? I just don't want, I think of mine as a very nice curated, like a small art gallery where like I'm the curator and it reflects me. It reflects a story, and that there is a coherency to my collection that makes sense. So I don't want a huge collection. Some low end, the shallow end, right? And then just a few really nice ones.